Hey everyone, today we're going to check your area and perimeter practice. So the first part says to find the perimeter. So essentially what that means is I'm going to add up all the sides or combine like terms. So for the first thing I notice that needs to be combined are my x's. So I'm going to combine 3x plus 4x, which is 7x. 7x plus 5x is 12x. Next, I'm going to combine my constants. So I have 8 plus 2 is 10. And notice you can switch the order as long as you're combining like terms. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 minus 1 is 9. So my perimeter is, and you don't have to write the P, but I mean it's helpful if you do. The perimeter equals 12x plus 9. Let's take a look at the next problem. So first I'm going to look for like terms. So I have 2x squared and x squared. So 2x squared plus x squared gives me 3x squared. Next I'm going to find all of my x's. I'm just putting it in the proper order. And I only see 9x, so I'm just going to bring that down, plus 9x. And lastly, I'm going to combine my constants. I have negative 10 plus 4, which gives me negative 6. So the perimeter of this figure is 3x squared plus 9x minus 6. The second part says find the missing side length, and it tells you that the perimeter P is given. So for the first one, they tell us the perimeter is 13x plus 11. So that's what I'm going to subtract from. First, I've got to combine my like terms. So I'm going to combine my x's. So I have 3x and 6x gives me 9x. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this, get it ready to subtract. Minus, we said 3x and 6x is 9x. And then I'm going to combine my constants. So negative 2 plus 6 gives me 4. So I want to take the perimeter minus what I got when I combined all the like terms. But remember, we have to change that to addition first. So 13x plus 11 plus negative 9x minus 4. And now I'll just combine the like terms to find the missing side. So I have 13x minus 9x, which is 4x. Then I have 11 minus 4, which is 7. So that missing side length is 4x plus 7. Now let's do the same thing for D. I noticed they give us 3 out of the 4 sides, and then they tell us the perimeter is 21x plus 2. So I'm going to set this up, get it ready to subtract. So now let's combine like terms. So first I'm going to combine my x's. That's the highest exponent or the highest degree that I see. So 5 plus 7 is 12x. 12x minus 4x is 6. Let's see. I don't know why I subtracted. It should be add. Is 16x. And now I want to combine my constants. So I have 2 minus 5, which gives me negative 3. So now let's set this up so we can combine like terms. This becomes 21x plus 2 plus negative 16x plus 3. So let's go ahead and combine those. 21x minus 16x is 5x, and 2 plus 3 is 5. So that missing side length is 5x plus 5. Part 3 says to find the area. So it looks to me like the first one we have 3x times 8x minus 5. I'm actually going to do that inside here. So 3x times 8x minus 5. This is just the distributive property. So 3x times 8x is 24x. 3x times negative 5 is that should be 24x squared, minus 15x. There are no like terms to combine, so my area is 24x squared minus 15x. Looking at S, again, this looks like it's just going to be a distributive property problem. So 2x squared times x squared plus 7x plus 4. 2x squared times 1x squared is 2x to the 4th. Remember, we add the exponents. 2x squared times 7x is going to be 14. X to the 2nd and x to the 1st is x to the 3rd. And 2x squared times 4 is going to give me 8x squared. So the area of this rectangle is 2x to the 4th plus 14x cubed plus 8x squared. Now let's take a look at the last part. In the last part, they want us to find the area of the shaded region. So on the first one, we're going to have to find the bigger area, the area of the smaller rectangle, and then subtract those. So let's do the big one first, and I'm going to start that right here. So we're going to say 9x times 16x plus 5. So when we do 9x times, let's see here, 9 times 16 is going to give us 144x squared, and 9x times 5 is going to give us 45x. So that's our area of the bigger rectangle. Now let's find the area of the smaller rectangle. So we're going to do 4x times 7x minus 2. This again looks just like the distributive property. So 4x times 7x is going to be 28x squared. 4x times negative 2 is going to be negative 8x. Now I'm going to subtract those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set that up. The bigger rectangle minus the smaller rectangle. And that's going to become 144x squared plus 45x, see that doesn't change, plus negative 28x squared plus 8x. So when I combine these, 144x squared is the same as negative 28x squared. So I want to do 144 minus 28, which is 116x squared. And then 45x plus 8x, those will combine, to give us plus 53x. So the area of the shaded region, and we represent that with a capital A when we write A for area, is 116x squared plus 56x. And now we're going to do the same thing for W. So we're going to find the area of the bigger rectangle. So we have 6x squared, length times width, times 11x plus 20. 6x squared times 11x is 66x cubed. 6x squared times 20 is plus 120x squared. So that's the area of the first, or the big rectangle. Now let's do the same thing for the smaller rectangle. We have 8 times 10x squared minus 3x. So let's just do the distributive property. 8 times 10x squared is 80x squared. 8 times negative 3x is negative 24x. And now I'm going to subtract those two because I want to find that the area just of that shaded region. So I want to leave the first set of parentheses alone. Change this to a plus, and this becomes minus or negative 80x squared plus 24x. So I don't see, now I can just start combining like terms. I don't see anything else with an x to the third, so I just bring down that 66x to the third. I do, however, see a couple of terms that have x squared, so let me go ahead and combine those. I want to do 120 x squared minus 80 x squared, and that's going to give us 40x squared, so plus 40x squared. And then finally, I don't see anything else with an x or any more x terms. So I'm just going to bring down the plus 24x. So the area of our shaded region is 66x to the third plus 40x squared plus 24x.